Hey everybody, it's Andrew with Braggins Adventures, and today we're going to give you an update on Knott's Berry Farm and the disaster that was the Camp Snoopy Grand Opening. Let's go! This is Braggins Adventures. Alright guys, we are going to give you a complete update on Knott's Berry Farm and the disaster that was the Camp Snoopy Grand Opening. I think the easiest way to start is right here dead center in the park. By the way, we actually did get a chance to ride Silver Bullet. Haven't ridden it in years. We also went on the train. It's one of my favorite things to do when I go to Knott's Berry Farm. It's a great way to rest your legs and kind of relax if you're a little tired from roaming around about the day. The center of the park is where all the musical stages are too, and it is bumping during these cool summer night events. Really cool to sit down and listen to a band and grab a beer. Also, it's not Knott's Berry Farm if you don't ride the mine train. Am I right? All right, let's head over to Ghost Town. There's another special event going on right now. It happens daily through, I think it's August 7th, might be the 11th, and then it'll switch to weekends only through, I believe, Labor Day. It's called Ghost Town Alive, and basically, it's your regular ghost town, but they have all these characters that are hanging out that you can interact with, that are putting on kind of extra interactive shows. They'll lead you all around town. You go rob a bank with them. You can ask them questions. They all stay in character. It's just super fun, and it's a nice addition to what already exists, which is a pretty amazing attraction. And I'm talking about Ghost Town in and of itself. I just think it's fun. One of my favorite things is to check out the town gel. It's kind of hidden on one of the little back roads and interact with them.
Oh, Andy, what you pointing at me? What is that?
It's a camera.
Camera? I've never seen a camera that thin or small. I know there's a fellow walking around with a motion picture camera, but that thing is huge. Takes 12 frames a second, that's what he told me.
Okay, so he's not actually part of Ghost Town Live. It's a mannequin, but there is someone often there that can interact with you. Hey, if you haven't yet, can I take a moment to ask you to hit that subscribe button? And if you enjoy our videos, give us a thumbs up. It really helps with the algorithm. Also, you can find us across social media, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, as well as here on YouTube at Braggins Adventures across everything, but we do post different things depending on the platform. All right, let's get back to Ghost Town Live and the Knott's Berry Farm Ghost Town. Again, it's one of my favorite spots to hang out at Knott's Berry Farm. I just think there's a lot to do in a very small space, and there's not usually huge crowds within Ghost Town. Calico Saloon, great spot to grab a cold drink. It was a little crowded inside, and they weren't doing shows for some reason when we went in there, so we took our drink outside to enjoy it. We also grabbed a few snacks just before we leave this kind of center area of the park. You gotta grab a churro when you're at a theme park, right? So we went and grabbed a churro. Alyssa waited in line for it. And then, you know, it's a churro. Is it the best churro I've ever had? No, it actually tasted burnt to me. Alyssa thought it was fine. And as I ate it more, I guess the burnt taste went away. I don't know. You tell me what your thoughts on the churros at Knott's are. We obviously also had to grab a funnel cake. Little did we know a funnel cake is 1,230 calories. That is a lot of calories. Now, I guess if you're going to split it with 4 people, that takes it down a lot. And you certainly could split one of their funnel cakes with 4 people. But 1,200 calories, guys. Please don't eat this whole funnel cake by yourself. That's a lot of sugar. It's a lot of calories. But you know what? It was really good. It was one of my favorite bites that day. I like funnel cake, and I forgot how much I like them, but I don't know how often I'm going to eat them with that kind of a calorie count. All right, we're going to head around the back side of the park. Pony Express, unfortunately, was closed while we were there, which sucks because that is a fun ride. We grabbed a beer at the little prop shop beer place and then just walked through heading towards the kind of beach boardwalk area of the park. This is kind of where all your thrill rides are. And we were so ecstatic because we had passes to Knott's for years. And I felt like Accelerator was closed pretty much every time we went to the park. And that's accurate. I haven't been on it in years. But we were fortunate enough this time to actually get to ride the Accelerator. It was Alyssa's very first time on it, and she did it like a trooper. You know, she gets the G-force issues where she'll kind of black out for a second, or brown out, I guess. But she did great. She rode the ride, had a blast, great time. All right, we're going to move down now to Fiesta Village. But before we do, remember there's a little crossing area between the boardwalk area and Fiesta Village. You might have to wait for the train to go by, or for the stagecoach to go by. Just be patient, listen to the instructions of the employees. All right, Fiesta Village recently went under a huge renovation, probably about a year ago now. We haven't been back though, because we got rid of our passes. We kind of didn't like the way Knott's was doing things. Their customer service, their employees were just bad. And I'm gonna get back to that later on in this video. But we were here, got to see all the updates. Wow, Fiesta Village is now one of my favorite spots in the park. They added a restaurant, and it kind of reminds me of a Chipotle. We didn't personally eat there. And then they've added this little like tequila bar spot. They did feature a bunch of bottles of tequila, but it seemed to me like pretty much everything was a canned cocktail that they poured. And then the draft beers, obviously. I don't know, you tell me. I'm not sure what their liquor license allows them to do. Maybe those tequila bottles are display only. But it seemed like everything was kind of canned or draft beer or wine based. I'm unsure though. You tell me. I had a Michelada, so I wouldn't know anyway. Alyssa said the drink was okay, even though it was a canned cocktail that she got. But, you know, it was refreshing. It was a hot day. Super hot, man. You guys stay cool out in this weather, okay? You got to take care of yourselves. All right, I do want to get back real quick before we move on. The employees at Knott's, both at the hotel, and if you haven't watched that video, it came out yesterday. I'll link to it at the end of this one. And at the park, have vastly improved in the 2 years since we've been to the park. I don't know if Knott's actually did something and management came in and said, hey, you guys got to do better, or if it's just Disney cast members are becoming so bad that it's making the Knott's employees look that much better. I honestly don't know, but good job. Kudos to you guys, Knott's employees. All right, we're going to head in now to Camp Snoopy, the disaster that was the grand opening. The whole reason we went to the park this day was to check out the newly refurbished, rehabbed, reinvented Camp Snoopy. And what did we find? Well, we found an entrance without any signage. You no longer knew you were walking into Camp Snoopy. We found this huge, unshaded, unfinished picnic area that I'm struggling to discover the point of. We found a couple of the rides working, but nothing had changed with them. And then we found other rides that were just closed. They weren't working. They were closed with the employee standing there telling you we're closed. There was the new roller coaster, but it had a 90-minute wait. And given that it was one of the few attractions actually running in Camp Snoopy on their big grand opening, it's gonna be 90 minutes all day long, and it didn't look that fun to me. We found construction wall after construction wall after construction wall. Closed down attraction after closed down attraction after closed down attraction. They should not have opened Camp Snoopy. I'm sorry. They should have held off until it was done, because this was not a fun experience for us. It made it feel very crowded and closed in. And why grand open something if it's not ready to be opened? That sign sums it up right there. Attraction closed is what Camp Snoopy should have remained. All right, we're going to close out this video at Knott's Chicken to Go. We did have a reservation at the restaurant, but the only one available was a really early dining time, and we didn't want to eat that early. So we actually went to the to-go window and took it back to the picnic area to enjoy it. We split a 3-piece meal, which I think there's a lot of value there. A, you don't have to pay the split plate charge if you do it to go, whereas if you split a plate in the main dining room, you're going to pay, I think it's $5 or $8 or something like that to split the plate. We got to split this to-go thing. It comes with the sides, it comes with the fixins, it comes with the biscuits. This was great value. This was, I think, 14 something. And it was a filling meal for us to share. You gotta know though that the winner here, the absolute winner in this, is that biscuit with the jam. Guys, they know what they're doing when it comes to jams. They know what they're doing when it comes to boysenberry. And I think I read recently that they actually are the ones that invented the boysenberry, which is a hybrid of different berries. It's not a naturally occurring fruit. The Knott's family actually created it. Let me know if I'm wrong in the comments below. But that's the absolute winner. I'm not saying the rest of the food wasn't good, because it was delicious. It's Knott's chicken. Can you go wrong with that? I've heard some bad things about Knott's chicken lately. I've heard it just didn't live up to the standards that people had as far as memories go of it. I ate here when I was a kid, and it lived up for me. and if you're a Knott's cast member and you know about stuff, don't spoil it for people below. We understand there were some issues with grease and that kind of thing years ago. You know what? The chicken was tasty. I don't even care how it's made. It was good. It held up to my memory of it and the experience of it and the hype of it. The sides were tasty. Overall, Knott's was a good day except for Camp Snoopy. That was just such a huge bummer. But honestly, having this upper level of cast or of employee that they have now, they all seem to kind of just care. They all seem to want to be there. And it was so hot, I would have understood if some of them were a little cranky. But kudos, Knott's. Thank you for upping your game when it comes to your employees' interactions with your guests. That makes me want to come back and visit all the more often. Hopefully next time I come, Camp Snoopy's going to actually be up and running. And my advice to you guys, Knott's, is if it's not ready to open, don't open it. Just postpone that. That would have been a much better experience for us. All right, if you want to check out our Knott's Hotel video, click the link right above or our SoCal playlist right there. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next adventure.